Barber World, what's good? This is your girl, She the Barber, coming at you again with another video. You know we gotta drop another one. This is a new client. Everybody getting ready for the new year. We here on New Year's Eve, yes sir. So he wanted a low taper with some light enhancements, and you know we gotta get the clients exactly what they want. So come with me, enjoy this video, and make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Alright, so first we're going to start off by prepping our client by combing the hair down, knocking all that hair down flush, getting it combed out so we can make sure we cut them down even and not fight with the hair. Got to make sure you comb down that hairline, and always comb the hairline in the direction that it grow, and if you use a brush, you know, brush it in the direction that it go, but I rather use a comb, especially starting off, so that you'll make sure that you're not fighting with any tangles within the hair. So we're gonna knock this client down all the way even. Right now I have on my half a guard, and it is all the way open right now. Now once I get in the back, because the hair tends to be thicker and more dense in the back, I close it slightly, not even halfway, but I just close it slightly so that the hair can look more even with the sides. And you got to make sure you get behind that ear. So of course, once I got around this way, I open my blade up more, and we'll want to knock that hairline down at the same length. Now the hairline tends to be lighter and, you know, a little bit more dense in other areas. And as you can see, he got a slight stress patch right there. But, you know, we're going to make sure we get that together also. So I always go back around and make sure everything is even as possible. Now we're going to go in with my clipper with no guard on it. And we're going to start that very first guideline. Again, this client here is getting a low taper, which is why the guideline was set so low. And then I just went ahead and opened up my clipper all the way up and started blending it out. Now I got this half guard on, I got the one guard on all the way closed. And just setting in that guideline, and then I open up the clipper and go ahead and start working my way up into the blend. Now I got that 1.5 on, and I'm at the top of the blend, but it was all the way closed, making sure that's flush. Now I got my 0.5 on, my half guard, and I'm working out that guideline that I set between the clipper open and the one guard closed. And we just working it out, make sure we get that fainted line out. Sometimes the one guard to get it out, sometimes it won't. But I like to use my half guard regardless if I feel like it looks good or not, just to make sure it has a real nice transition. And now I just turned that half a guard around because I did cut him down with the half a guard, and I just smoothed down this surface and I closed it as I moved down. Now I'm just doing a little slicing to kind of get some of the dark areas out, because we want to make sure this taper is flush and a great transition is going. So we're going to do the same thing in the back that we did on the side. And I set that balding line in first with my clipper closed. And I do it with my clipper closed. I can do it with the liners, but it's just less switching between clippers and liners. So I just go ahead and set it in with my clippers, and then open it all the way up, set that very first guideline. And then I just blend that out all the way across, closing my clipper a little at a time. Every time you see me move the chair while I'm cutting, I set my guard, closing it down further and further. Now I have on that one guard again, all the way closed, and I'm going to set in a wider guideline in the back just to get a real good transition. And it's all the way closed, and now I open it up, moving up towards the top. And in between, I'm going to be closing that guard, closing the lever a little bit, just to, you know, get a real good taper in the back, nice little fade transition. And I'm going to move to the side, and I'm going to follow those same steps, opening up the clipper all the way, and then in between I'm going to be closing it a little and making sure I set it in a nice transition, flicking out using my corners. And now we're on the right side of the head doing the same exact thing. So just a little bit off subject, getting ready for the CT Barber Expo. It's gonna be my first time going, and I'm excited. I've never been, and I went on the website and I see that they have a Barber Awards, Grammys. So I'm excited to see, what this is gonna be like. My manager at Andy's Barber Style Shop went last year, and he said it was amazing. So I'm ready to see the difference between the Brunner Brother Hair Show and the Expo. I know it's, of course, more on the barber end than barbers and stylists, and the Brunner Brothers cater more to stylists. So I'm really excited for this. Anybody else going, man? Let me know in the comments. But back to the haircut. I'm using that 0.5 right now to blend out that guideline at the bottom that we set in, again, between the lever open and the one guard closed. And you can still slightly see a faint line up top where I went in and did that 1.5 above the 1. But as I stated, I knocked them down, or I did them even all the way around with the half guard. So I'm just going to take that half guard and begin to flush that down. And as I move down the taper, I'm going to close it, and it knocked it right out. And now we're going to make this more even behind the ear. As I stated, y'all do not want your clients having that darkness behind the ear. We want everything to look blended, and we want everything to look like it goes together, instead of like you're walking in two totally different rooms. We want everything to just flow into each other. So clipper all the way open, set that guideline in, and just start blending it out. Open, closing it down as I move down into the blend. Now I just put that one guard on, and it is all the way closed, setting in that guideline, and now it's open as I move up. And in between, I'm going to close it a little bit, and I'm going to make sure that transition is going in there, and then it's fading from light to dark. You see how I get behind the ear and go against the grain over there also, because like I said, gotta make sure everything is flush. Got the 1.5 on, moving up towards the top, blending it in. Now I got the 0.5 on, and I'm working it in. Now this side of the head was slightly more difficult to blend than the other side, and it's because how his hair grows. It's not growing straight down, it's growing down, but it's also curving towards the back just a little bit. So you'll see me turning my clippers different ways just to blend that out. And now I'm stretching the skin to make sure I get that blend all the way in. And now I'm just using that 0.5 to make sure that that taper is tapering. Make sure that that taper is going to be a nice little fade, nice little blend on the sides. And of course, as I move down, I close the lever down a little bit. And I, use little slicing methods also on this side to make sure we get that blend in and make sure we're getting those dark areas. And if I remember, I'm going to try to do a no guideline taper also, like I've done the no guideline fades. So now I'm just making sure everything is even in the front as possible as far as with my guard. Prepping that hairline so we can go ahead and get him all the way through the door. We got the tapers out the way. Now it's time to set that hairline in. Put that hairline in. So I do my hairlines different ways. I do not follow the same structure every time I cut hair. I may do the hairline all the way across in the front. I may do the hairline from the middle and just work my way completely all the way around the head. And that's exactly what I did on this haircut. So I take my time with my hairlines. I don't try to move so fast because I don't want to mess up and dig into my client's hairline. I want to keep their hairline as natural as possible unless the client asks for a pushback. Some clients ask for pushbacks when they have those widow's peaks in the front, the Eddie Monster, whatever you want to call it. And some clients ask for a pushback when they have those oval or round shaped hairlines and they want those boxed out hairlines. It just depends on what myself and the client discuss during the consultation. And that's how I do my hairlines based off the client. Now, some clients, you gotta make them a hairline because they hair grow all over their forehead. Just depends on the client. Everything varies. Now with my C cups, I start at the bottom of the vertical bar, setting the line in horizontal. Then I go to the bottom of the C cup and set in a vertical line, and then I just connect those using a C motion. And I know a lot of barbers like the one hand behind the ear. Hey, do what you do. I don't do it. It takes more time to do it. I can do it. I just chose not to practice on it as much. So I'm not gonna lie, I am not that good at doing the one hand behind the ear. I like to do what works for me, and this is exactly what works for me. So if you can one hand it, do what you do. If you can't, always do what works best for you. Never do what works best for another barber. So now I'm setting that line in behind the ear, and cleaning up that neck as I go. And then we're going to go on the opposite side, and we're just going to do the same thing. I ain't gonna lie, because I was recording this video, I was holding those liners very awkward. It felt awkward holding those liners, but gotta do what you gotta do, trying to bring content every day. So clean that neck up, and now I'm just gonna make that curve behind the ear. And this particular client, it was easy to line him up behind his ear because it's not trying to be funny. His ears, I guess I'd say they're not tight, so they were very easy to flex. And it made it very easy for me to complete the line up behind his ear. And I'm doing this line up the same way, setting in the horizontal line, then setting in the vertical line at the bottom, and then connecting those. That's what works for me. It's very easy for me to set my guidelines in like that. And then I just clean those sideburns off. And now I'm back in the front, and I'm starting over in the area that I already set in, using it as a guide to bring that hairline all the way around towards the other side. And I always comb the hairline down to make sure nothing is gonna hang over. I used to do the hot towel method, doing the shaving cream and doing the hot towel, but I kind of got away from that because it's more time consuming to do that, because you got to dry the hair, add hairspray and all that stuff just to harden up the line. So I gotten away from that, and combing actually helps out a lot, because once I comb and I see nothing coming over the hairline, I know nothing is going to come back over the hairline. And sometimes the shaving cream method, once the hair actually fully dries, the hair tends to draw back into its natural state, and the hairline may not look exactly like it would have looked if you just did the combing method more. But whatever works for you, whatever your client like, go ahead. Now, as you see on this side right here, it's slightly dropping down a little bit, and I'm going back in and making sure I get that corner right so that it looks exactly like the other side. Now we're gonna go ahead and go in with the enhancements, and we're gonna get this haircut tight. I don't like to be too heavy on the enhancements. I don't like to be that heavy. I don't like to make it cartooned You know, I want it to look as natural as possible. I mean, they are enhancements, so you're gonna tell that the haircut is enhanced, but you know, I'm not against enhancements. I just don't like being a paint artist when I use the enhancements. All of this is artistry, but I'm not a painter, I'm a barber. So I'm gonna go in with these enhancements to enhance the haircut, not to cover up mistakes. Enhancements are used to enhance the haircuts. Now, right here on this side, I see that I have a slight dip in the C cup, and later in this haircut you're gonna see me clean it up. It's not gonna be there the whole time. Before my client gets out the chair, I always check out the haircut. I always critique myself in whatever I do, and if I see something wrong, I'm gonna clean it up before the client even see it. And if the client sees it, it's gonna be taken care of before that client gets out the chair. Now, you get out the chair, that's it. Ain't no more sitting back down and getting this fixed. So myself and the clients are gonna make sure they're good before they get out the chair, because I want to give my clients the best service as possible. I want to give them the best experience as possible, and they're paying for these haircuts, so I want them to get their money's worth. I don't care what you decide to charge. You set your prices, so you got to give your clients the best the best service as possible, the best haircut as possible. And right here, that's not actually where I fixed it. I fixed it once I kind of start doing the video, because the camera show everything, the mirror shows everything. So once you start seeing the pictures at the end of this video, you're gonna see the difference in the C cup towards the end. But because I use fibers on his head too after I did the spray, that's why I go back in and I line my clients up again, because those fibers can be a little messy and you don't see the difference in the lineup until after you start lining them up again. Then you can kind of see where those fibers dropped. It's light, but trust me, it's a difference. So I put the pencil lining on him, and y'all have to forgive me. I thought I was recording when I was doing the when I was doing the straight razor, until I started editing this video and I noticed that I did not record. But anyways, this is the cut. Now this is where I noticed that I needed to fix that C cup on his right side, and you can see that I didn't, but right here, that's where I fixed it. And then again, I'm videoing again, and I'm seeing something that I don't like, and you can see how dark it is in that low taper. That's because some of the black spray got on, and I put oil sheen on first, and now I'm putting on the alcohol. And after this right here is when I went in and I wiped that black spray off. Now you can see the taper at the bottom. I don't want to block my tapers or nothing like that. I want everything to be seen. Y'all be blessed. Have a good week.